Arthur Fantastic here, and welcome to my new channel. This is channel number 2, Arthur Fantastic. My main channel, Golden Ruffian, has a strike on it, and I'm going to be keeping most of my faith-based and Bible-based content there, and I'm going to be posting some of my wrestling, karate combat, and other content here on my second channel. I'm going to start with a review of the new movie Creed 3 that I just saw for the first time in January 2024. My thoughts on this movie, not good. Not a good movie. I would not recommend. All the problems that I saw in the first iterations of Creed 1, Creed 2, just became bigger problems in Creed 3. I'm searching for that connection with Adonis Creed. I liked Creed 1. I was okay with Creed 2, and they could have gone back into the win column, but Creed 3 was absolute fucking garbage. And I'll tell you why. Now, the movie starts off with like a flashback of our main man, Adonis Creed, son of Apollo Creed. And he's going to hang out with his friend who we come to know as Dame. By the way, spoiler alerts. So don't tell you I didn't fucking warn you. So we get to this part of the movie where he is, and he punches him in the face kind of deal. And then we slingshot into the current day where he's in the ring, but he's in his retirement fight. Okay, so we missed most of Creed's career. I guess we saw it in 1 and 2, but they really kind of fast forward through it. In 2, 1, like, we saw it, but 2, it seemed like, I don't know, we skipped so much time, and maybe other people don't have that criticism, but I feel very disjointed in number 2, but they kind of brought it back together the way that they developed the relationship between Rocky and Adonis. They kind of like wrapped it up with Rocky seeing his son, and the way that he mended things with Adonis, and it's men like learning from their lives and applying those things that they're learning. They're willing to be humble and get up. You know what I mean? A good reoccurring theme through the entire series, starting with its predecessor, Rocky. Creed is the spiritual successor, but I don't think that they are consulting with Sylvester Stallone, the original writer and owner of the property, Rocky. And I've actually read some articles of him saying that he felt really cut out and he would have done things different. He didn't like how things were going with this one. So I had gone into this movie thinking, okay, it's not going to be what I might want it to be. I might think it should be with a director like Sylvester Stallone, who's got the formula down and he's able to change the formula up and it still be interesting, but you still get the welling up of emotion and release. That's what fights are. Even real life prize fighting, there's a lot of build up. They got all these cameras following these people. They're changing their diets. They're living a certain way. They're changing their mindset. They're fighting themselves. They're fighting their body. That's what's beautiful about fighting, prize fighting specifically too. That a lot of people don't understand. People are like, "Oh, this is just violence." There's so much that's going into this, and the Rocky movies, Creed 1, and to some extent Creed 2, and in some ways Creed 3 did a good job of creating some emotional through line and connection and make you want to see the fight at the end of the movie. You want to see this. You want that catharsis. It's just as satisfying for you as it is that character. You want it. But going back to the movie, the character Dame, and obviously you know that this other character is Adonis. They're real fucking close, and it's you're like, wow. And then all of a sudden, flash forward to the future, and Adonis is kind of living that life, and you're like, where is this character that supposedly was really close with him, um, all this time? But you just watch the movie. He's retiring. It's off screen. He wins the fight. He does this little thing where it's like it's reflecting back to what Dame did in his fight in the flashback. He says checkmate, and he does the same thing. Like, okay, cool, all right. So there's a lot of like, oh, these two characters are so similar. Okay, what we see next is another skip in time in the movie. This time, instead of off screen, now this skip in time is in the movie, and now he's promoting fights, and the next person he's promoting the guy who's also the new champion. He's promoting him. Oh, wow! I don't even know how much time has passed, but who fucking knows? Who cares? He's managing now the new heavyweight champion. The previous one is now managing the new one. Oh, light heavyweight champion. Of course, that happens all the fucking time, right? Of course. I don't know how quickly that happens and if that makes much more sense, but I'm like, all right, maybe I'm being a little too critical. This is one of many things that make me like hypercritical of it, and you'll see why as I go on. We see this new cat that is champion, but training under like Duke, Duke, right? And Adonis in the old gym that Creed has been training under, that basically is appealing to the name of Apollo Creed, and I think it's the son or the nephew of the trainer that was in the previous Rocky movies, who trained Apollo and later Rocky. So but he's not there present in the movie. The last movie I think he was in was definitely Rocky Balboa. I'm not sure if he was in the Creed movies, but he might have been. It's like that's irrelevant right now to the story, but we see that this new guy, Felix is his name, by the way. He's kind of just beating the shit out of his fucking training partners. It's kind of dick move, you know what I mean? Like, to be too fucking rough with your sparring partners, and they don't show him in a good light, but he's Adonis's fighter. A couple minutes later, we see this strange figure who we come to know is his friend Dame, and he's just come out of prison, and he's been in prison basically since that night, the way that they make it seem. And you're like, fuck, okay, so he's been in prison since that night, like, or that year, or what are we looking at? You know what I mean? What the fuck happened? They don't really reveal it to you. They slowly reveal it to you over time. That's kind of like feeding to this like thing that they think they're doing. Like, oh, we're going to slowly reveal that Adonis, this guy who's always fucking faced everything, is running away from his feelings about this thing that happened one time, and now he's trying to make it right. Okay, that all right. People make mistakes when they're young, and now he wants to make up for it. Okay, what's wrong with that? Well, we start seeing everybody around him shitting on the guy. They're like, why you bring this guy over here? He like punches the guy in the arm. Like they're sparring. The guy hits him really hard. I think after the timer or some shit like that. But it was like whatever he had done, it was like kind of fucked up what he's doing. He was already doing fucked up shit in sparring. The Dame decides to punch him in the arm. It was like, oh, and everybody's like, oh, that's fucked up. That was on purpose. Why is it fucked up to punch a guy in the arm on purpose? And you're fucking sparring, and you're like, oh, you gotta get him out of here. You gotta get him out of here. He got a chip on his shoulder. He just came out of fucking like 15 years in prison. Oh, excuse him for having a fucking chip on his shoulder. Everybody's fucking already treating him like shit in the gym. Oh, he's old. Oh, he's old. Like, everything that's going on, there's nothing going against Dame. He's been like, no, I don't want a handout. No, I just want to fight. No, I just want to fight. And as time goes on, he's like, I want to fight the champion. And he's like, and Adonis is like, fight the champion? You just came out of jail. You don't even have a fucking professional fight. But he considers it in his mind because he never kept contact with him after everything happened. He was like, "Oh, you were locked up this entire time, blah blah blah." He kind of didn't even fucking know. So that's in the back of his mind. Sometimes shit goes on, the training, blah blah blah, and what happens next is there's a get together where wife of Adonis, who I don't fucking like, by the way, didn't like her in Creed 2, was alright with her in Creed 1, but now I really don't like her in Creed 3. Her character is fucking insufferable. Well, that'll be its own section in this video, but I'm just going to get to the main plot line and why it fucking sucked. So, so far, Dame is old, underdog, wants to fight the champion, has a connection. He's doing all right in the gym, kinda. He's obviously got some moves. And Adonis is like, I kind of own him. Why not? Make this happen. It's like Rocky. It's true. It is like Rocky. Rocky got a fucking chance, for no fucking reason other than he was an underdog and he was the last second replacement. Or even like it might even have been a tune-up fight. It was just like whatever. It was a throwaway fight. Give this guy a chance. And then he became fucking world champion. It was a similar type of situation where Adonis kind of got like this Rocky chance. You know what I mean? Sylvester Stallone, the Italian stallion. Okay, so it's a come up story. He's now in the Rocky position. Is anybody seeing this? Okay, it's like, okay, are you trying to make some literary reference to Rocky's the bad guy? Guess who doesn't make an appearance in this movie, by the way? Rocky. Okay, now I really understand why Sylvester Stallone didn't have any fucking nice things to really say about this Creed 3 movie. I mean, he's the fucking trainer. They don't even fucking mention him. What is going on? It's like, oh, is Rocky dead? We don't fucking even mention him, I don't think, do we? In the movie, not. I mean, maybe they did. I didn't watch this movie over and over to go through it with like a fine tooth comb. I watched it one time, and that's fucking enough. I'm doing the review right after it. I'm trying to do it in one shot because I want to be done thinking about this movie for the rest of my fucking life. If I never think about it again, I'd be really fucking happy to not think about Creed 3. Just a moment to talk about the music. Opened up. Fucking fooled me because the previous Creed movies were doing pretty good work with the music, I thought. Up and down, but I mean, for the most part, it was like a pretty good batting average. All right, I don't know what a good batting average, like an actual number, so I won't try to give you a fucking stupid number. But they were doing pretty fucking good. All right. This movie, they open up with some good music. As the movie went on, it got worse and worse and worse. And when we get to the montage and the music at the end of this movie, except the music over the credits, which actually was good again for some reason. My wife it made that observation. The music went really downhill. It was just like I was having like flashbacks to Holiday Matsuri where they didn't fucking have bass. For people who remember that was like what 2000 fucking 10, 12. All right, that was a long time ago. But for people who do remember, they forgot to fucking turn on the bass. Fuck. Almost seems like that where they're just like, I want to be so artsy and include all this like really heavily lyrical music because that's not what wells up a person. It's that orchestrated music that hits certain keys that gets you up and amped to where you're like, I have this feeling, dun dun dun, like what's that song? Victory. It's sampled in Victory. Regardless, it's the Rocky song, and we all fucking know it. And it's in the first one, and then you got Eye of the Tiger. You got Final Countdown. No, I don't know. Is that one? Final Count. I don't know. I'm not sure if that is one. It doesn't even fucking matter. You've got the fucking Rocky 4, like absolutely crushing it. Just listen to that one time working out, and then you have Creed 3, and it's like I'm not working out to spoken word. You know what I'm saying? Give me a beat. Anyway, this is the first the first one. I'm gonna clip it at 15 minutes. We're gonna go to the second part where I'll talk about the wife, and I will conclude about why the story of Creed 3 is absolute garbage.